Hello there, guys. This is Ramu-Ushi Rai. Well, it's like Ramu-Ushi, aka Rai, but you can call me Rai or you can call me Ramu. That's what most people do to shorten it. I am looking for voice actors for my Dangan Ronpa Trigger Happy Havoc fan dub. And most definitely, yes, it is a fan dub, and I will explain to you why it's not as much of a let's play as it is a fan dub. I am including gameplay and all that, yes, of course. But getting into the characters and the casting and everything, I have already cast for the characters. I have asked three of my voice acting friends to play the role of Mando Uwada, Kiyotaka Ishimaru, and Toko Fukawa. Yeah. And I'm actually playing the main character, Makoto Naegi. So, because I'm playing the main character, it would be extremely weird for me to be doing the Let's Play. I already tested it out. My main character voice isn't too much different from my natural voice. I just kind of amplify that main character flavor with my voice. And I'm just like, hello there, guys. My name is Makoto Naegi, and it's nice to meet you all. It's something similar to that, you know. It may change when it comes to the final product, but from my understanding, it's going to be somewhat something like that. So, considering that you guys already know that 4 of those roles are taken, they are not auditionable. Like, you can't audition for those because that's not going to change. You can see the deadline in the description. The reason why I have the deadline like that is some people want to they want to get the audition, out the way or whatever. Some people, I don't know, they give a few months, but me, I have been kind of eager to do this for a while. But I think a month is a pretty decent time for you guys to audition, and not only that, but enough time for me to also improve my editing skills. Actually, as we speak, I am playing around with Sony Vegas. Because I just got Sony Vegas not too long ago, and I want to at least be somewhat decent with Sony Vegas before we release the final product. So I'm trying to learn all I possibly can about Sony Vegas within a month. Hopefully I can apply that to the final dub when I release it. We as a cast, as a team, we wouldn't be the first person to dub this game. I know there's some people that are still doing an ongoing dub of this game, but I kind of want to do my own thing with it. I was thinking about actually doing a dub of the animation. But my main reason for doing the dub of the game is because I kind of like the feel of the game and the gameplay and that stuff too. And also, it can be kind of harder to do a dub of the animation, having more to do with finding good sound effects, and also the fact that there's someone that's supposed to be actually releasing a Dangan Ronpa animation fandub. I don't know when he's releasing it, but I auditioned for it and I didn't exactly get a role. It wasn't because I was sucky. I guess it was just because the other guy, he kind of liked the tone of his voice better for the main character. So I was just like, I've never done a project before, and this seems like something very interesting to do, and it's challenging for actors and everything with all the emotions going on throughout this entire, the entire story. So I was like, you know what? Why not do it? And yeah. You see the deadline in the description. Originally I was like, give everyone 1 week to turn in lines, and then someone on one of the voice acting pages, actually it was on one of the sites I had posted the project on, they were like, 1 week is kind of a small amount of time. And I had thought about it and I was like, yeah, that is a lot of freaking lines to only be giving someone 1 week. So you will be given 3 to 4 weeks for lines. Honestly, I would like to do it within a short amount of time, but I do not want to be ridiculous with it. So once I cast everyone, I'll make a little Skype discussion chat or whatever, and we can discuss that in further detail. But right now, yeah, it's looking like 3 to 4 weeks is fair. If you want to audition, for those who are doing YouTube auditions, I have a nice, beautiful little document below for all of you. and that document has all the character descriptions, with the kind of voice that I'm looking for that character, their background, all that good stuff that you need to know or have an idea of what they should sound like. There's also some those other websites I was talking about. The voice actor who had mentioned that it was a ridiculous amount of time to record lines. I will actually mention what those sites are later on in the video, but you can also look down in the description to see what those sites are. So we are getting into the audition part. So the issue that you can have sometimes is that sometimes people do voice reading and not voice acting, and that's extremely important to me, performance wise. So yeah, guys, I can understand if you're like new to it and everything, but it's not voice reading, it's voice acting. If you sound like you're reading off the lines, then there's something wrong. You should be bringing that character to life. I apologize for any background noise you may hear. I think I just heard a vehicle drive by, but I kind of live in the city, so sometimes that can happen, but I promise you that will not be in my final recording when I edit for my lines for my koto. There will not be any, crazy background noise. But yeah, pretty much show off those voice acting chops because I know that all you guys are capable. Don't read. Also, for those guys that may be new or they just want to improve, I'm offering to do critiques. If you want to, I can do a critique for you if you are posting a YouTube vid. The document ends in the below, as I told you before. If you're posting a YouTube vid, you can post that YouTube link down in the comment section. And if you're like, I want to have some feedback because you're someone that wants to, do voice acting for a living, and this is kind of like you practicing for the big leagues pretty much, just post it in the below and just say, here's my YouTube video. If it's possible, can you send me a critique? I will PM you on your YouTube page. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll PM you on your YouTube page your critique. So yeah. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, and for those that feel as if they do better with live auditions, I am also offering live auditions for Skype. You just have to give me your Skype. But eventually, if you get cast for that role, I'm gonna need your Skype anyway. But there's only like 15 roles, and there's gonna be so many auditions. Oh, wait, no, not 15 roles. Normally there'd be 16, but now there's like 12. Something like that, yeah, because we already taken up 4 of the roles, but yeah. There's that, and also for those that I cast, I'm also offering live voice calls for direction. If anyone needs any assistance with lines or anything, or if they feel as if they perform better when they have someone assisting them, with their lines, that's offered to them as well. But the way how I'm going to be doing that is that actually the live auditions and the voice calls, of course, have to be scheduled, because I kind of like to keep things structured, don't want things to be too crazy and unorganized. So, yeah, that has to be scheduled. And so, yeah, I'm going to mention those voice acting websites that all you guys are probably dying to hear about. For those of you who are just, in the YouTube voice acting community and you have not stretched out too much to these sites, these are some great sites for you to use, to your disposal, so you can have a whole lot more access to more projects like these. And those websites are Behind the Voice Actors. I have a link for that below. That's actually, the link to my project. But if you go up and to those tabs and you click on casting calls, you can see a whole lot more projects. Now, of course, you have to make an account, but you don't have to pay for it. It's free. So there's Behind the Voice Actors, then there's also Voice Acting Alliance. That one also has projects. That one is more, I guess it's more categorized better, on Voice Acting Alliance. When you go to my page, you're going to, of course, see, Monokuma, Ayasina, all pretty much, all the characters up on, my picture. And if you scroll up to the very top, you will see that there are different arrows pointing to you know, different subparts. Like it's like the farther you get to the left, the more broad you get. The further you get to the right, the more specific you get. So if you were to click on, I believe, when you click my project, right next to that should be not visual projects, but fan visual projects, because they're split into categories. There's fan visual projects and there's original visual projects. Original visual projects is like, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's basically projects that people have made themselves, their own animations pretty much. It's not pre-licensed, and pre-licensed pretty much means that, stuff like Dangan Ronpa, Dragon Ball Z, Gurren Lagann, you get the idea. The stuff like that. And the third website I'm going to mention, it's very similar to Behind the Voice Actor, but a lot of people say that it's better. Because, sometimes Behind the Voice Actor has some crazy stuff going on. But yeah, that website is called www.castingcall.club. And I will also have a description link down on below for that. And when you click on the link, it's going to take you, of course, as I said before, to my project. But you can go up and scroll up and press casting calls, and you'll be able to see those casting call projects, other stuff you can audition for. Yeah. Also for those websites, specifically Behind the Voice Actors and www.castingcall.club, they have this thing called shoutouts for Behind the Voice Actors and this thing called Upvotes for castingcall.club. Now, when you first come to those websites, it can kind of feel like those other voice actors that are shouting out that character seems kind of intimidating if you see someone has a whole lot of shout-outs. Now, to me personally, that doesn't always mean anything. Like, if the director doesn't feel the same way as the other voice actors that voted up that particular person, feels, then it's not going to matter, because at the end, the director is the person choosing the character. So please, if you see anyone with a lot of shout-outs, if you see anyone with a lot of upvotes, just ignore that. Don't let that deter you from auditioning. Now, getting into the main rules of the project. Rule number 1 being, pretty much, I cannot stress this enough. Please use a good mic. When you audition, I am not going to be too strict about it, But to be quite frank, having a terrible mic for an extended period of time can really keep you from being cast. All those projects that I mentioned that are that you can find on those websites, a lot of people want you to have a decent mic. Me, I will let you get away pretty much with, auditioning with a crappy mic if you can promise me that when it comes to, line time, which is 3 to 4 weeks after I do all the casting, that you will have a decent microphone, then, it's fine. I won't stress over it or be like, I'm recasting you, but if you're able to get a new mic by that time, or you can send me a recording showing that you got a new mic, because I don't want to cast you, because I'm personally, I'm able to, it's easier for me to listen to your acting if your mic quality is good enough for me to hear you and good enough for me to hear your voice than it is for me to judge a mic, unless your mic is extremely crappy, because some people can tell a huge difference, but sometimes I can't, tell that well. But yeah, pretty much if you are going to audition for crappy microphone, you need to just send me a recording of you using that new one. And personally, I would like this to be done before I do all the casting, because if I do it afterwards and then 3 to 4 weeks comes and you turn in line to a crappy microphone and you told me that you were going to have a good microphone by then yes, I would have to cast you. And unfortunately, that would bring that would basically put the project behind, because a lot of people don't like, a whole lot of difference in mic quality. It's like one person has a good condenser microphone, and then someone else on the project has a really crappy headphone mic, or they use their phone. So yeah, I prefer if you be able to prove that you, have a better microphone before all the casting is done and things like that, because I'd be kind of, playing Russian roulette doing it any other kind of way. I guess a cheaper microphone that I can recommend is they're often used, a whole lot by people that are just starting voice actors, is the Samsung Co 1U. I believe that's what the name of it is. And then there's the Blue Yeti, the Blue Snowball, the I'm trying to think of what the other one is, but I can't think of it right now. But I don't want to you know linger too much on microphones because I still have like two more rules that are kind of important to go through. Also, no heavy background noise. Usually, that has a whole lot to do with your microphone quality. But I mean, what I mean by that is you don't have to know how to use noise removal. And for those that don't know what noise removal is, it's fine. But what I'm saying is by heavy background noise, what I mean is the dog barking in the background or a train going by. But you don't have to use noise removal in your auditions. But usually your microphone, if it's really bad or crappy or whatever, it'll pick up a whole lot of background noise easily. And that's more called white noise than it is background noise. So yeah, that's also why the mic quality is extremely important. Also, I would like to avoid peaks. Peaks are not pleasant for your ears. For those that don't know how to control gain, you can also PM me on my YouTube page. Or if you are going to be auditioning using those 3 websites below, you can PM me using those websites. If you have any issues trying to PM me or you don't know how to or whatever, just, post a message in the description below. Let me see here. Oh yeah, also, rule number 3, so very important to the final product. Please turn in lines on time. I'm not gonna hunt you down for the lines because, it's kind of your responsibility to get the lines on time. I will ask you, remind you, but I'm not going to be, like, bothersome about it, like, where are my lines? Where are my lines? Where are my lines? Hey, you have my lines yet? I'm not going to be like that. If you are not going to be able to turn in lines on time, I won't immediately, like, recast you, but if you continue to, like, not turn in lines on time without giving me a explanation, I'm gonna have to recast you, and this is why. I am very considerate, most definitely. I will negotiate pretty much, anything. I don't mind if you are unable to turn in lines on time and you tell me why, because you'll learn that as your director, I'm a very straightforward person. I like things that are structured, and I'm also very considerate of you if you tell me the truth. But if you don't tell me the truth, if you give me some, BS or whatever, it is going to bug me. So, yeah, just tell me the truth. It's perfectly fine. I'm very considerate. It doesn't, matter. So, and rule number 4, the most important rule. All you guys, just have fun, do it, have a great time, become the character because you are the character. And, I guess all that's left to say is that we will be using Project Zepsibo's translation. I will be giving, credit to them in each video because they're great. They made the translation before the actual translation came out, for the English dub of the game. But yeah, November 15th, due date. Casting will begin at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, you can see that in the description. And that will be on the final day of auditions, pretty much. That's when casting will be done, 11 p.m. That will also be pretty much when auditions will be closing. Please be aware of your time zone because people can have huge time zone gaps. And you may be like, okay, yeah, I got plenty of time. I got like 3 hours to audition. And then you look and the role's already cast. So please make sure you're aware of that. And this is Ramu-Ushi Rai, well, aka Rai, pretty much telling you guys to do your best, and I really look forward to the final cast and working with you all. So, good luck on your auditions, and I hope that you'll be those lucky ones to be a part of the cast.